and gentlemen. Once again, this is Nevin from Nev's Tech Bits, and today I want to touch on Bitcoin for beginners. I want to give you a little bit of information about what they are, what you can do with them, and where it might be in the future. Now, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Nobody knows exactly who created it, but the governments of the world are not big fans of it. It's very hard to control, and it is very hard to track. Now, technically what Bitcoin is hashes. You can earn Bitcoins by running these hashes, and what these hashes are ultimately are transaction history. So while we can tell exactly when a Bitcoin has been sold, nobody can tell who owns that Bitcoin or who traded that Bitcoin. The more Bitcoins are traded, the more Bitcoins get produced. Now, again, governments aren't too happy with this stuff because you get places like the Silk Road where you can trade Bitcoin for drugs and illegal things and hitmen, crazy things like that. A lot of people really don't like this, but ultimately what money comes down to is faith. I believe money all comes down to faith. Back in the day, money used to be geared towards what it was worth per gold, the gold standard. And the gold standard was what people believed gold was worth, and gold is only worth what people will pay for it. These days, it is ultimately based on the GDP, or how good that country's doing. Within Canada, the dollars are based off of how good basically the stock market's doing. Basically, how good the top echelons of the stock market are doing. It went from gold standard to that. It's very complicated. But countries can control their own money. They can control this monetization. They can see where the money is going. Of course, they love to control it. They can't control Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cruel mistress. So individuals can earn Bitcoins by doing these hashes. But unfortunately, if you're just getting into the game, I would recommend you just stay out of it, because this battle's been going on for so long, and so many people have servers specifically set up and dedicated to Bitcoin that you and your gamer rig that you spend $3,000 on, the gamer rig that your parents might have bought for you, it is not powerful enough to make enough money. I have my best systems running Bitcoin, and ultimately I found out if I was running everything full tilt 24/7 in 1 year, I would make 50 cents, and that was not worth the money that I'd pay for the energy. There are people that have systems set up specifically for generating these hashes. They have hordes of these USBs that are just set up to generate this cryptocurrency. And there's more than just Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just one of them. You get your Dogecoin, you get, multiples of it. A lot of people thought it would fall through by now, but it hasn't been falling through. Bitcoin prices have been going up and up and up. And once again, I believe that all money is only worth what people put faith in it to be worth. I believe that Bitcoin is the backside financing of, well, definitely the dark web, but the internet as a whole. PayPal's official, but PayPal is a real pain in the butt. Even people online don't like PayPal. I really believe that Bitcoin's going to be going somewhere. I believe the cost of it's going up, and I believe that there's a lot of institutions that are terrified of this and really don't want this to happen. Back in the day, I used to believe that they knew who created it. They gave names, but it wasn't that person. And they rated this person, and it turned out, of course, it wasn't. But one thing I'm really curious about is why governments would care about this kind of stuff. Do they really need to know where all this money is going all the time? Do they really need to be in control of that? But yeah, again, ultimately, don't even get into it now. Trade Bitcoin. I would recommend that you buy Bitcoin, you sell with Bitcoin, you receive Bitcoin. I would love it if I get my consumers to pay me in Bitcoin, but unfortunately they don't even know what that is. A lot of technophobes are really scared of Bitcoin, but honestly, it is just, it's a cryptocurrency. It's something new. The world's changing, and we gotta learn to change with it. But definitely, once again, don't even bother with it. If you're not already harvesting it, if you don't know anybody who has it, then if you don't know anyone that can teach you how to do this stuff, show you the ropes, then I wouldn't even bother with it by this point. But there's definitely potential. There's definitely money to be made there. Unfortunately, so Bitcoin works. You get your Bitcoin to a wallet. You can back that wallet up. But if your computer's stolen, and this has happened, if your computer's stolen, you don't have a backup of your wallet, that money's gone. It's just like having your wallet in your house when your house burnt down. Unfortunately, I've heard of stories, unfortunately, of people who had huge servers, huge racks stolen, and the racks weren't worth a tenth of what the Bitcoin wallet had that was within it. So that's kind of heartbreaking. It's how it goes. But again, the same is true with cash. And since this is new, you don't always get things backed up. There was a Bitcoin bank. I want to say it was in Sweden, and it turned out they got hacked, and it turned out a whole bunch of the money that they had, they no longer have. And what they decided to do was take a little bit of Bitcoin from everybody's, and I forget how that went. That was hilarious, unless you had your Bitcoin in that bank. But that's what Bitcoin is. If you can trade it, I would definitely recommend it. I would love to be traded with Bitcoin. I would love maybe to make money from YouTube, to make money from eBay, and be paid in Bitcoin, but that's not happening just yet. I definitely think this is something we should get on and that we should support. And if you think I'm wrong, or if you have anything to put into it, please leave something in the comments below. I'd love to have an open discussion about this. I might be missing something. The world's a big place. Politics are a big thing, and odds are there's something I'm not adding to this equation. Anyways, like and subscribe if you like this stuff. Again, leave a comment if you think I missed something, and have a good one, folks.